What's good, everybody? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again with another episode of the Celebrity Junk Dima soap opera music. So guys, we've covered the Lizzo conversation many times on this channel, and you guys love to see me roast her. I've roasted her, cooked her, and Lizzo still hasn't lost any weight since I've done any of those things, but it's quite okay because that is the topic of the video. Because Lizzo is bipolar, I believe. Maybe I can't diagnose it because one day she's okay with her weight, the other day she's crying about it. She doesn't like people to talk about her, and it's really turning off her fans because, you know, a lot of ladies out there are pissed off because she does these things to get attention and then she gets upset. So she doesn't come off as being genuine anymore. And so a lot of ladies have jumped into her Instagram comments and said things about that matter. And Lizzo has decided to take the antics up to another level because there's a new song in which she posts nude. We don't want to see that or show it to you. She poses in the nude, and some of the lyrics, it goes like this: sad music, if you love me, you love all of me or none of me at all. Okay, so that's some of the stuff that's going on there. And I think that's what we need to talk about because this is a fixture in African-American female culture that I believe is one-sided and it's sort of duplicitous in a way. And what am I talking about? When we have conversations with black women, in my honest opinion, if you have a conversation, the dialogue between black men and black women, their demands are, you black men are not protecting me enough. You black men are not building enough. You black men are not providing enough. You are not faithful enough. So these are the things that you need to work on. You're too broke. You're too lazy. You're not educated enough. You're not on my level.
Shut the fuck up.
And let me just say this. We want to be fair because whenever there's an exchange in dialogue, it's not that black women are not telling the truth, because the only people that know us as good as black women are white people. So black women understand us and we understand them, at least from a cultural perspective. But here's where the rubber meets the road. They want us to change to become better versions of ourselves. But what are black women consistently telling black men? Accept me as I am. Either you love me, love all of me, or none of me at all. And I think that's the issue here that we've been seeing evolving. And now you see Kevin Samuels, he's talked about these things on his show where you have a lot of black women who want these things from black men, but then they're telling black men like, hey, my kids come first. I am a single mom, but you need to be able to provide for me and him and be able to accept the fact that you're never going to be first and you're going to be like quaternary in the relationship or tertiary or secondary.
Hell no, man. What the fuck, man? Get your ass on.
Now, how does that work? In negotiations, in relationships, if you desire anything out of life, what can be achieved from anybody in the black world? I'm dealing with just that, but this is also very universal too, as well. If you are not willing to give, but you expect to receive, and Lizzo is telling people flat out, love me, love all of me, or don't love me at all. Then what happens is that when the guys that you want or the people that you want don't love you, don't accept you, or any of it at all, that's where it becomes a real big fundamental issue. I've noticed that like black women tend to have a big problem with that. And then that breeds resentment. It breeds, discontent when it's towards, black men, especially like in the black feminist community. But this is what they say: love me, hate me, or leave me alone. Okay. But you're not talking about what changes that you need to make because you don't want to hear that. When we start to talk about what changes that because we've heard all that you've had to say. And let me just say this, when black women give criticism to black men, we have to be strong enough to take it. We have to be able to look at it and see if there's some truth in it. And then, like even people like Cynthia G, people are polarizing like that. I take away some of the tough language and some of the hate speech that's in there. And then I look at, does the person have a point? And then the answer is, sometimes I have to say, she's not lying about certain things she's talking about. I can be honest and say that. But then again, when we come back and say, well, here's also what we expect of you, well then love me or leave me or accept me none at all. And then, okay, well, what do you do as black men? And I'm not saying all women in the black community are like this, but for the women who feel like this, then what position does it leave black men to be in? It says, well, damn, hey, I really want to stick in this community, but you know, there are certain elements if you're telling me that I need to accept you as you are, and you're telling me that I need to develop. So what happens if I develop and you stay the same? Well, then I'm no longer the same person that you brought to the conversation with. I'm no longer the same person that we talked about a few years ago, because you told me to work on these things. And so then I did work on those things, and then you did not. So I would like to stick with you, but we're different people now. I actually feel now that I can do better than what you're offering me. And that's the conversation that black women don't want to talk about. You're asking for these men to go above and beyond, and then you are not looking to go above and beyond for those same men that you want. So it leaves them the ability to improve themselves. And then all of a sudden now they're not in the same, it's almost like this, like, okay, you live in the projects and you tell me I need to work on this, and this, and then I start making money and I start getting more income. Well, then I have more opportunities to live somewhere else. I'm not gonna live there anymore. I'm gonna live someplace else. And this is all you see with Lizzo. I'm taking all my clothes off. I'm not gonna work on myself. This is what I look like. I expect I should get more than what I'm supposed to be getting, but I'm not. And so if you don't like me as I am, F you then. Well, then guys are gonna say, okay, well, all right, you had that point. So since that's who you are, I'm gonna just go somewhere else, or I'm gonna do something different. And maybe I might take my talents out of Black America. I may take my talents to other parts of the Black diaspora community, to a woman that might say, you know what? Hey, you're a catch. I want to meet you where you're at. And instead of having the attitude that, you know what? I want to meet you where you're at. I want to be able to change myself to fit in the relationship long term, because people are going to change. Things are going to change. But I want to go ahead and put this effort in, and I want you to love me also. So I'm gonna go on this path with you to make this a relationship a success. Versus, I'm not gonna change. You like it or you don't. You're not competing at that point. And that's all Lizzo is saying. I'm not competing. I don't want to compete. And for black women that feel this way, let me just say this: you don't want to compete. It's fine. I know some women feel like they're too good to compete for a man. It's absolutely okay. I understand it. I get it. There are other things you can do. One of the things you can't do is complain about it. You don't get to complain about the fact that you're not being competitive if this is the way you feel. It doesn't make any sense. It's just like a black man saying, well, I'm gonna be broke, love it or leave it, I'm not gonna try. You would look at him like he's a loser, which you should, because that's what he would be. People that are competing in life want to be competed for and compete for something else. And Lizzo is clearly showing that she don't want to do that. So that's why she's going to remain where she's at. There's nobody going to come knock on your door. God is not going to send you a man. If you don't want to compete, there you are. And that's the idea. That's what needs to be told to a lot of sisters in Black America, and in the Black world in particular. Your lack of efforts are going to make you have a lackluster life. So if you don't want to work on yourself, you don't want to take care of your body, then you're going to remain where you are at right now, which is typically unhappy. But guys, what do you think? It's your boy, O'Shea Duke Jackson, back at it again for another episode of The Celebrity Junk. I really appreciate you for all that you do. Subscribe to the bell. Check out the first comment at the top. And as you know, the buffoonery remains an all-time high. I'm out.